knowledgeable man, especially on the topics of the celestial phenomenon that's going on. And this should be a very, very good show. But since we're taking a survival tact on this in this show, and boy, rightfully so, considering all of the stuff that's going on, I think that it's important. And John, you also said it. That water is good. I apologize, Doc, for getting my order messed up. But you're absolutely right about the shelter. You're absolutely right about the shelter. Now, do you think that is based on your location, on the environment that you're in, as far as the hierarchy goes?
Well, in any environment, anytime you have a list of priorities, it's going to be different somewhere else for someone else, sure as heck. And that's all we're saying. If you live in sunny Southern California and you don't have weather issues, or like you do in Arizona, for example, it gets cold in the winter and really hot in the summer, try that without shelter, especially in the summer. Try living in that 100 and whatever degree weather they have daily without water. But without the shelter, you're going to be even worse off and more quickly dead. It just depends on your environment. And if it isn't an issue, move to the second priority. But you have to set up, as Maslow did in his hierarchy of needs, you have to set up your own hierarchy of needs. And if shelter is never an issue, if you live on a balmy island in the South Pacific, who cares about shelter? Unless there's a tsunami coming, then you got a real problem on a flat island. So you see, it's a different need there than it is here. And someone said in the chat room, I'm in Michigan. In the winter, I'm dead to go get a drink of water if I don't have shelter. And that's precisely the point.
That's so true.
Hey, guys, I just want to throw something else in there, and this is very important right now. The country's in a bad state, but while the time is available, and this is just something I know from going to war and everything else, you need to be in the best possible physical shape you can be in, because it will give you the ability to cope with stress. It'll give you the ability to survive that extreme heat and cold better. It'll give you a step up above all the rest, especially in this country. That's just wanted to put that in there.
No, it's a very good point, Andrew. Very good point. Your ability to adapt is going to be crucial. And at this point in the game, if people haven't started to simplify their lives to be able to handle something like this, because that's going to help you. That's going to help you cope with it when it does happen. Start to do so now, and start to network with like-minded individuals. You're going to find that they're few and far between in your communities, but while we have this venue being internet, blog talk, radio, YouTube, and the like, it's a very good forum for people to network and bounce ideas off of one another and get information so that you can make the best decisions possible for yourself and your family. And it comes down to self and family when it comes to that. I'm going to take another call right now. Area code 662, you are on the air. Area code 662, are you there? No area code 662. Okay. So, Griff, self and family. What do you say?
Yes, I heard you say that. I agree with you. I think all of our efforts should be on self and family to protect a life and health of the family and yourself. I want to make a comment about the last topic, water and Clorox. Clorox has a very short shelf life. It turns back to water. So don't think you can store Clorox. You can't. And it degrades very, very fast, much faster than you would ever imagine. Look for something else with a greater shelf life. You see, that's pretty much one of your enemies in storing and stocking. It's shelf life. Things degrade at different rates and different times, different circumstances. But you're fighting a battle against decay of your products, whether it's food or water or anything else. The ultimate in food storage is freeze-dried. That'll last for at least 20 years. So you that's the ultimate. Nothing is any better than that. You
How
can
about
vacuum. Iodine, I would think iodine would last for a good while. I think it would have a longer shelf life than most other things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. Dr. Prepper, what do you do? You're a lot older than I am. What do you do when you lose your train of thought?
You reboot. You just reboot and say. And another thing, well, you were right on. In terms of iodine has a much longer shelf life. However, if you have some certain throat conditions, goiters, other kinds of problems, might not be the smartest thing to ingest in your body. But halazone tablets also work. They have a much longer shelf life. Depends on where you keep them. And that's why you need to learn all the rules. You're right. Time is one of the mortal enemies of all kinds of things, including man. Another is heat, or the high temperature is not good for any stored goods, as well. And then there's infestation, and not the two-legged critters, but the others. And there are also humidity. That is not good, and some things don't freeze very well, like bottled goods and glass. So there are a number of things you have to consider. That's why shelter is so important. It protects your belongings. It protects your investment in you. Without my shelter, my food storage is not worth a tinker's ding. I have to have shelter around it in order. Here in South Texas, when it's 100 degrees for months at a time, I have to have protection shelter over that food, or it's worthless. It's a bad investment or lost investment. So if I harp on the shelter, it's because most people just ignore it. The wags are saying water, and they say it because they haven't had the experience. And once you've lived through a cold Michigan winter and your house burns down and you're out in the snow, in the cold, while they're trying to stop the fire on your house, you know what it's like to be in a lost situation and have bad weather besides bad luck. And that's a reality we have to face, Joe. Sorry.
Hey, no sweat. Hey, I just got a question. I got a question from the chat room, and I thought this was a little bit interesting. But it's, does anyone know of any particular sites with like-minded people to network other than Facebook and YouTube, your social networking sites? Doc, or anybody in this room right now, anybody in the panel, can you guys, do you guys know of any survival sites or anything like that where people can get together and interface?
I do, actually. I'm going to put a link in the chat room for them. I know the guy that runs this site. He's former Special Forces, and most of the people that are involved with this site do not play around, and they actually have a screening. They screen the people that they allow to join the site. But these guys, if you want information, these guys have got everything. And let me
Are you putting that in your blog TV?
Yes.
Or,
the link is http://freedomvideousa.forumwise.com, and that's the website. There are plenty of them. There's one, I want to say survivalblog.com. There's several survivalist bits out there that have got everything you could ever need. The list,
that's right.
Yeah.
Backpack.
Let me again point out. Let me wag my finger for just a minute. Survivalist is a group that has a certain kind of mentality, and that's great. They also are wanting to be prepared. They probably have a more they're more desperate. Well, I don't want to use the word desperate. They're more determined, and probably a little more determined in terms of keeping their freedoms, and bless their hearts, we need those. Then there are the preppers. There's an American Preppers Network. It's been around about 18, 19 months now, and they have a meetup group, chat rooms, forums in every state. American Preppers Network, APN, and you can look them up on the internet. There's one in every state, several in some states. So these are people who actually get together and talk about it. They're homesteaders and preppers, preparedness people, self-reliant people. Some of them even want to be self-sufficient. Okay, that's fine. Call it what you will. That's the group that those groups are less interested in guns, more interested in butter. And though I respect very much those who are into survivalism as if it were the last stand, I don't hang out with them any more than I do with anyone else.